Now, good morning, all of the students. Now, our topic of concern for today is the factors affecting chromatographic resolution. Now, this topic, factors affecting chromatographic resolution, is directly related to one of the broad topic that is not part of your syllabus, that is theories of chromatography. Now, you may be aware of this word resolution, you can say chromatographic resolution, or you may not be aware of this word. Simply you can say that the word resolution is basically used to indicate a particular separation. So you can say that the chromatographic resolution is nothing but it indicates the separation. And what is the main purpose of chromatography? The main purpose of chromatography itself is to separate the components from mixture into individual one. So you can say that the factors affecting chromatographic resolution, or you can say factors affecting chromatographic separation, both are same terminologies, or you can say both are the same statement, not the terminologies. So chromatographic resolution and chromatographic separation becomes the equal thing. So why they have used a specific terminology, that is the resolution? We are just deviating from a topic for a while, as we are focusing on one thing, that is system suitability parameters, just for a while. Now, what are the system suitability parameters? As you know, what is the name? Focus on the name, system suitability parameters. Now, this particular terminology, which is also abbreviated as SSTs, it forms a major part of any chromatographic technique. It means to say that certain parameters indicates that a given system is perfectly suitable for a given operation. That a perfect system is perfectly suitable for a given operation. Now, given operation, that means what? It is the separation. If you look at the any chromatographic technique, whether it is HPLC, whether it is GC, which are the two broad areas of chromatography, and further we have division in that chromatographies. So we have the broader divisions in that major chromatographic technique, but the system suitability parameters remains the same. The values of that particular parameters indicate that a given system is working perfectly for a suitable operation. Suitable operation is again, that is the separation. Now we have certain system suitability parameters, just I am giving the name. One is, you can say that, number of theoretical plates. This number of theoretical plates is also abbreviated as capital N. You may have come across to this particular terminologies. Then a second parameter, which again comes under the system suitability parameters, is the resolution itself, which is abbreviated as RS. Then you have next system suitability parameter, that is tailing factor. This tailing factor is abbreviated as T, or it is popularly known as asymmetric factor, or you can say peak asymmetric factor, which is known as AS. So you have four different system suitability parameters: number of theoretical plates, resolution, tailing factor, or you can say peak asymmetric factor. What it means, if you are finding any deviation within these system suitability parameters, it indicates your system is not working in a proper way. your system is not working in a proper way, that means a system is not doing the adequate separation itself. So because this parameters is having certain significance, now all the system suitability parameters will be covered under the factors affecting chromatographic separation, or you can say chromatographic resolution. Okay, now for that we need to look at the certain theories of chromatography. Now theories of chromatography, that means they are the theories which basically governs the chromatographic separation. Now we have three different theories which suggest how the separation in a chromatographic column is taking place. So first theory is known as a plate theory. The second theory is known as rate theory, and the last theory is known as a random walk theory. Okay, so these are the basically three theories which governs the chromatographic separation behavior, or you can say a chromatographic resolution. Now what is the basic difference between these three theories? You can say two theories are working on a same principle. That means a same condition. Whenever we are saying a separation is taking place, that means one of the major requirement in order to separation to take place is the equilibrium. Equilibrium that is being established between stationary phase, mobile phase and your analyte. Now when this equilibrium is taking place between these three particular components, then separation will take place. આ એના જેવી વસ્તુ થઈ કે જ્યાં સુધી જ્યારે લગ્ન થતા હોય અને છોકરો અને છોકરી વચ્ચે મેળ ના બેસે, એ બંનેના ઘર વચ્ચે મેળ ના બેસે, ત્યાં સુધી જનરલી લગ્ન થતા નથી. બંનેના મન વચ્ચે મેળ બેસે, બંને ઘરના મન વચ્ચે મેળ બેસે, તો જ તમારું સેપરેશન થઈ શકે. તમારું સેપરેશન મતલબ એ છોકરી એનું ઘર છોડી એક ફેઝમાંથી, એક ફેઝ મતલબ જે એનું પિયર છે એ ફેઝમાંથી એના સાસરીમાં આવી શકે. That is the mobile phase. That is the partition of your analyte from stationary phase to the mobile phase. But this is only and only possible when there is equilibrium between analyte. Analyte એટલે basically અહીંયા છોકરી તમે કહી શકો છો. What is your stationary phase? Stationary phase કે જે છોકરીનું ઓરિજિનલ ઘર છે, કે જેને તમે પિયર કહો છો, અને એને ક્યાં આવવાનું છે? મોબાઈલ ફેઝમાં જે છે સાસરી. તો જ્યારે આ ત્રણે ત્રણ વચ્ચે ઇક્વિલિબ્રિયમ હશે ત્યારે જ તમારું સેપરેશન થશે. So the plate theory and the rate theory are working on a same sense that there is a perfect equilibrium between stationary phase, mobile phase and the analyte. While the random walk theory does not make a true sense that in order to take the separation, in order to separation to take place, there is no need of such equilibrium. આજનો સમય એવો જ છે કે જ્યાં આગળ આપણે એવું કહી શકીએ છીએ કે જો સેપરેશન ભાઈ કરવું હોય તો કોઈ પણ ઇક્વિલિબ્રિયમની જરૂર નથી. તો એ આજનો સમય છે. Now each theory is making its own point. So we are first looking at a major theory, that is the plate theory. Now what this plate theory suggests? Now plate theory suggests that because the separation is taking place in a column, it says that a chromatographic column, because it is filled with stationary phase, it contains a certain plates. It contains a certain plates within that column. Now these plates are nothing but you can say that they are the layers of stationary phase. જ્યારે આપણે પાઇપની અંદર કોઈ વસ્તુ પેક કરતા હોઈએ છે તો you can say that they are packed in certain layers. Okay, થોડી જગ્યા દરેકે દરેક વચ્ચે હોય છે. Now assume that this is the overall length This is the overall length of the column, say for example in meters. And this is only and only one layer. This is only and only one layer. Consider this one layer is having the height of h. Now this height is also known as HETP. That is height equivalent theoretical plate. Okay, and this 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 are considered as number of theoretical plates. So you can say n is equal to 5. N is equal to 5. So what the equation becomes? Here the simple equation of this particular theory becomes H, that is your HETP, is equal to L by N. This is the simple equation, just I am giving the outline. H is equal to L by N. Now as we know, what is the major condition? Equilibrium which is being established. So when the analyte comes from here along with your mobile phase, first the mobile phase comes in the equilibrium between these layers, each layers, and then your analyte will distribute between these layers. And once the equilibrium is established between all three, then your analyte will travel from your stationary phase to the mobile phase and then elution occurs. Now simply you can question yourself how the equilibrium can be established between the stationary phase and the mobile phase. જેને આપણે એવું કહીએ કે સાસરિયા અને પિયર પક્ષ વચ્ચે ફટાફટ ઇક્વિલિબ્રિયમ કેવી રીતે બેસાડવું. So in true sense what you can say that આ હાઇટ જેટલી ઓછી હશે, આ h ની વેલ્યુ જેટલી નાની હશે, can you say that મોબાઈલ ફેઝ અને સ્ટેશનરી ફેઝ વચ્ચે એટલું ઇક્વિલિબ્રિયમ ફાસ્ટ આવશે? Obviously yes. તો આ જેટલી હાઇટ ઓછી તો એટલા જ લેયર વધતા જશે. સે ફોર એક્ઝામ્પલ આને હું અહીં આગળથી ડિવાઈડ કરી દઉં છું. સિમ્પલી શું થઈ ગયું? ધી વેલ્યુ ઓફ n હેઝ બીન ઇન્ક્રીઝડ. તો આ જેટલી વેલ્યુ h અને જેટલું ફટાફટ ઇક્વિલિબ્રિયમ એસ્ટાબ્લિશ થશે, યુ કેન સે દેટ જેટલું ઇક્વિલિબ્રિયમ ફટાફટ એસ્ટાબ્લિશ થશે એટલું જ તમારું સેપરેશન ફાસ્ટ થશે. And in order to get the best separation, the h must be as low as possible. So see, there is an inverse relationship. h ની value જેટલી ઓછી હશે એટલી જ number of theoretical plates વધી જશે. Or you can say, or n is equal to L by h. So both equations are true. So for the plate theory suggests the presence of HETP, high equivalent theoretical plate, which is the imaginary concept. As such kind of plate does not exist in a chromatographic column, but yes, it is one of the requirement which is being laid for adequate separation to take place. Okay, so again I am repeating, as the value of HETP is less, the number of theoretical plates are more, that is value of n is more. Or you can say, as the number of theoretical plates, that is n, if the value of n is less, then the value of HETP is more. Okay, so this is the concept. Now we are focusing on this parameter n. See, n નું significance એટલા માટે છે, it is one of the system suitability parameters which is being discussed over here. It is number of theoretical plates. It is also a parameter which indicates the column efficiency. if somebody asks you what is the major parameter that affects the column efficiency, so it is nothing but it is the N, or it is the indicator of a column efficiency. Column efficiency, that means how a column will perform the separation. Now this is a specific way, but in case of experimental purpose, you have two different equations that gives us the idea about the column efficiency. So N is equal to 16 T by W whole square, where T is nothing but it is the retention time and W is the peak width, or you can say that N is equal to 5.54 into brackets T by W 1/2 whole square, where see T remains the same, it is the retention time of component, and W 1/2 is the half peak width. So by these two particular equation, you can actually theoretically determine the number of theoretical plates based on the chromatogram that you observe. But in recent times, this particular parameter is given directly by the software processing. Again, as is the system suitability parameters, each has a specific value or range from which you can comment something. If the number of theoretical plates is greater than 2000 plates per meter, what you can say that the system is having adequacy or it is having good column efficiency. But if the value of but when the value of N is less than 2000 plates per meter, you can comment that your system is not suitable for a given operation. Why it is not suitable for a given operation? Because of only and only one reason: your number of theoretical plate is less than 2000 plates per meter. Because a good equilibrium cannot be established if you are having a specific number of theoretical plates which is less than the mentioned limits. So this is the outline of, you can say, plate theory. Now this plate theory has the significance because it has a direct effect on separation efficiency through the concept of HTP and number of theoretical plates. And that's why it is one of the factor that also affects the chromatographic separation, or you can say resolution.